All right, traders, as you know, from time to time, I like to provide a little bit of inspiration, especially when things are moving slowly and we've got the opportunity to do so. And today, we want to bring in a quote from Mr. Vince Lumbardi. And this is a short one. As you know, most of the ones that I put out are very long-winded and have, several points in them, but this one is very simple. Vince Lumbardi, for those of you who don't know, famous football coach. So the difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. And we talk about this in terms of trading and what, you're trading and why most traders fail. Well, most traders fail. Failure is really not the appropriate word because many traders will fail. All traders will fail at some point. Will have losses, will be in a situation where the market just is not providing them, any type of opportunity. And those are not failures. The only way you can fail in trading is to, one, run out of money, or two, quit. Now, the running out of money part, you can fix really easily by never risking enough that you'll ever go broke. This is the part that you can't fix. I remember when we would have what we called indoctrinations in the military every month. We would bring out guys who wanted to become part of our unit, who wanted to do what we did. And what they wanted was they wanted to kick doors. They wanted to go to school on how to make explosives. They wanted to, have the title. They wanted to be part of the club. But what they didn't want oftentimes is to work for it. They didn't want what came before. They saw the elite nature of what we did. They saw the elite group of people that we worked with. And it was something that they wanted to be a part of. But they didn't realize, many of them, that the amount of work that went into becoming part of what I did was more than most people could handle. But we would have them come out for this indoctrination. It ran about 8 hours long. Not anything terrible. They ran about 6 miles and they swam about 500 meters. They did a 10-mile ruck run, which is basically a 10-mile run in boots with their backpack on. And then they finished up on the beach with some push-ups and, just general misery. Nothing that a person in good shape couldn't handle. And we would have 40, 50, 60 people a month come and try out. And it was always interesting to see, who really wanted to be there. Who had this will. See, when they showed up, it was the middle of the night. They always showed up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And the first thing that we did was write a number on their arm in permanent marker, 1 to 60 or whatever the case may be. And we had cadre, and I would have been considered a cadre, which means that I was one of the guys that ran with them, that basically was there all of the time, monitoring their performance. And as we would watch this progression take place, we would take note when we saw someone slacking, when we saw someone, basically not performing at their peak. Because you see, we really don't care how strong a guy was. We didn't care how fast he was. We didn't care how smart he was. We knew that they had a minimum intelligence level or they wouldn't be there. We qualified them beforehand. So we knew they could learn the information that we wanted to teach them. And most of the Marines that you'll meet or that would come out and try out for our program have, or at least in generally fit men. But what many of them don't have is the will to succeed. And you would see this as we went forward, where people would just fall off. It would be like we would run the first 3 miles and everyone would stay, and when we ran the second 3 miles, we'd lose a few. We'd go up to the pool or go out to the ocean and we'd do our swim, and we'd lose half the people in the swim. They just quit. And then we'd be keeping track on a piece of paper the numbers of the people that we thought were really doing well. But it wasn't so much that they were doing well in the sense that they were extremely, that they were just killing it. That, hey, they weren't even struggling. Man, this guy's in great shape. Because I can make a man stronger. I can make him faster. I can teach him what he needs to know. But I can't give him the will to persevere. And so what we're really looking for in those indoctrinations is not the biggest, the fastest, and the strongest. What we wanted is the guy who suffered the most and continued to press on. There were many times we would run into an individual who was just a Greek god, a physical specimen. And he would just smoke it through everything that we did. And he'd get all the way to the end. He wouldn't even be winded, and we'd say, thanks for showing up, and we'd send him home. And I'm sure he would go back to his room, oh, I don't understand what happened. I smoked the whole thing. Why didn't they take me? Well, we didn't take you because you didn't push yourself. I don't care if you're in good shape. We got a whole group of men that are in great shape. I want to know that you really want to be part of what we're doing, what we're about. And so I'm looking for the guy who's just given everything that he's got. He's in the middle of the pack. He's nothing special. But man, that guy wants to be here. He's dying. His face is all white. He's dehydrated. He's miserable. But he keeps putting one foot in front of the other. That's a guy that I want on my team. He had the will to do what was necessary. He wanted to be there. And traders, for you, if trading is a passion, then you have the will to do what's necessary. You will do whatever it takes, no matter what. You will accomplish great things because you refuse to fail. You refuse to fail. In a sense, when you say you refuse to fail, you refuse to quit. You refuse to let it die. It is a dream that you will not allow to go away. And are there going to be ups and downs? Yeah. There absolutely are. As I've said before, there are going to be times there will be mountaintop highs and Death Valley lows in trading. Do you have the will to weather that storm? If you don't, what will happen is you will get into a situation where, you will just, when the going gets tough, you'll move on. Now, most of you are not in that situation. Most of you are in a situation where you truly do want to succeed. That's why you're here. That's why you're part of this program. But it's important that you constantly reinforce that. Because the difference between a successful person and everyone else is not being the strongest, is not being the smartest, or having the most information. The difference between successful people and everyone else is will. That's about as simple as a man can make it, and Vince does a fabulous job of explaining that in this very, very simple quote. So, take that one away. Put that one into your memory banks and hold on to it.